Now, I think it's pretty safe to say that the future of the Star Wars universe seems to be quite expansive, not just with their new books, novels, comics, and video games, but also, let's not forget about the new Star Wars TV shows and movies that are currently in the works, by, of course, Jon Favreau, Dave Filoni, and other creators hopping on board as well to really push the Star Wars universe in a different direction. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you are new to the channel for future Star Wars updates. Also, by the way guys, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support. It is greatly appreciated. Now, one major thing that a lot of fans have been very much intrigued about has a lot to do with the fact that a lot of the highlights from Star Wars Legends is about to make its way into various Star Wars TV shows, be it of course Ahsoka, Mando Season 3 and 4, and a lot of other things on the horizon by Jon and Dave. Now, given that a lot of other projects will be announced at Celebration next year to expand the roadmap and to really show fans a timeline of all the Star Wars releases that's going to build up the hype of the Star Wars franchise and the fans overall. Now, with that being said, however, what's even all the more exciting has a lot to do with the fact of what's been going on behind the scenes with, of course, a lot of shows out there like Mando 4, and even the continuation of the Obi-Wan Kenobi TV show that's going to be rebooted, and we talked about this of how Season 2 is basically going to be a soft reboot, and exactly how that's going to be done, we'll talk about that a little bit later as well. But focusing on a specific character here that so many fans grew up with when it came to the prequels was no other than Mace Windu, portrayed by actor Samuel Jackson. Now, what's really all the more exciting is what Sam Jackson recently had to say about Mace Windu's return and teasing his actual return in Star Wars after he was questioned about his latest project, Secret Invasion. Alright, so with all of that being done and said, what's even all the more exciting is that with Disney CEO Bob Chapek actively regulating and adjusting the Star Wars franchise behind the scenes, both Favreau and Filoni are actively working on new stories that will involve popular moments in Legends. However, in a recent interview with actor Samuel Jackson, when he was being questioned about Secret Invasion, he was also questioned about the return of Mace Windu in the Star Wars franchise and if that's actually happening. Sam Jackson went on to tell the fans the following: "It's funny you questioned me about that because I went over this with George and we both agreed that Mace could have easily survived the fall in Episode 3. If you are asking me right now on whether or not Mace is coming back under Disney's version of Star Wars, well, let me just say that this is something that I have been begging them to do for the past couple of years. And let me put things simply here, for the fans and for those who have supported me over the years. I think everyone is going to be very happy. In the near future, my boy Mace is not done yet. And well, let's just say maybe or maybe I have not been in the talks about Mace Windu's return. Haha. It seems like all wishes eventually come true if you want it hard enough, right? But seriously, and to be very direct, let's just focus on Secret Invasion for now. So, I want to pause here quickly for a second, because apart from what Sam Jackson is saying here, and we're going to tap into the more exciting stuff as well, is that he is basically putting it out there that he did in fact talk with Disney. He did in fact convince Disney to make this happen. You guys may recall that years ago, I believe it was Celebration of 2016 if I'm not mistaken, Sam Jackson was begging Kathleen Kennedy to make it happen for Mace Windu to come back, either come back to life, or of course that he never really died. Obviously, the second is the most realistic, and it just makes a lot of sense that he never really died. You know, I think that at the end of the day, when we look at characters that were thought to be dead and came back to life, are probably the best things, you know, to kind of explore. When you look at Boba Fett, we thought he was dead, he came back. When you look at Palpatine, we thought he was dead, he came back. And it seems to become a common trend now. They even pulled a fast one on us with Ben Solo in Episode 9, where he falls into the pit. You think he died, but he came back, you know, at that given moment in time, at least. But there's a lot of scenarios like that, you know? So when you look at this, Sam Jackson really teasing things, and really not giving a direct answer. It's obviously, you know, telling us that he is in the McGregor situation. What is the McGregor situation? Well, McGregor had to lie about his involvement as Kenobi for 3 whole years. And this, I believe, is very much consistent with that. You know, he's teasing us, he's kind of trying to give us hope out there that, yes, he can reveal the true answer to everything, but he can't at the same exact time. So, there are a lot of projects that are about to feature Mace Windu, and we're going to tap into that right now. Now, additionally, separate from what Sam Jackson stated here about Mace Windu's return and teasing it, developments are actually happening behind the scenes for Mace to return in Kenobi Season 2 and in The Mandalorian Season 4 as an elderly version of Mace Windu as well that is going to be discovered by Ahsoka Tano. Storyboards have already been created by FAVREAU and FILONI for Mace's return in Mando 4. Now, Lucasfilm is also still developing a Mace Windu TV show that's been in early development for 2 whole years now, and is finally making its way into getting officially announced by Lucasfilm. Now, you guys may not recall, but FAVREAU made it very clear about 1.5 years ago, right around that time frame, that Mace Windu is one of his favorite Jedi in the prequel trilogy movies, and he would love to explore his return in some way, shape, or form in this Mandoverse era. You know, he teased at the time maybe a Force ghost, or maybe that he's alive still out there somewhere, and that eventually did progress to them finally coming up with a decision and choice to throw him in Mando 4 as a very elderly Jedi. Alright, so basically, in Mando 4's timeline, we're gonna have a Yoda-esque type of Mace Windu, where he's not as mobile and very immobile and not able to really move around that much. Maybe he's very, decrepit. We could see that kind of Mace Windu, where he's very old. That's what they're aiming for, a very elderly version of Mace. One of the storyboards that were designed and illustrated so far for Mando 4 do involve a very ancient, look to Mace Windu, being discovered by Ahsoka Tano inside of a cave that's actually going to be a new Jedi temple that dates back thousands of years. So, that's that version of Mace, but the real version of Mace is the one that they are planning for Kenobi Season 2, where it's set to take place a total of 12 years after Revenge of the Sith, given that they want to make Kenobi Season 2 take place 2 years after Kenobi Season 1. Alright? So, there's a lot at stake here. There's a lot of things in motion, and there's a lot of plans behind the scenes by FAVREAU and FILONI, and I couldn't be more excited. So given that Sam Jackson, he's low-key telling us right here that, yes, it is happening, yes, it is in the talks, it is moving forward, just sit tight and enjoy the ride. That's basically what he's telling us, but he really can't directly tell us. So yes, he is in the Kenobi situation where McGregor had to lie and lie and lie for 3 whole years. And even McGregor teased it like this, being very coy, where he was like, maybe there's a trilogy, or maybe there's an actual movie that's in the works. I don't know. I can't tell you. He would say stuff like that. And it ended up being true, that there was a trilogy in the works, but it ended up getting cancelled. So overall, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you guys have to say about all this below in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.
Gun in hand, we are alone again. From night to moon, we hear them moans again.